groups in Egypt, political parties, activists, human rights organizations. We should talk and we should open the whole way to dialogue.
But you're speaking about dialogue among the political parties. Are you speaking about a dialogue between the authorities and a certain segment in the society?
No, the whole segments of the society, and the young people, elder people, political parties, civil organizations, everybody we should open the way for a national dialogue to know what really we want. Do we want from our agenda for the future, our agenda concerning terrorism, our agenda concerning development, our agenda concerning women's rights. We have to be very clear around these important points about our political life. You mentioned the assassination of this activist. I believe it was an assassination, and very coward one, in the heart of Cairo, 10 meters from police positions in the middle of the city. This should be clarified. If we are serious about talking to our people, we should tell them why these activists have been killed. When are the elections? Who will participate in the elections? Why you put, for example, for medical check for the candidates, 6,000 Egyptian pounds. It's heavy burden over the youth and young people and normal people in Egypt. They want to participate in the political life in Egypt. We should open all doors for everybody to participate. But at the same time, if you just lift all burdens, then it will be very easy also for unnecessary elements to enter a very important parliament we're speaking about, a parliament that should be really determining the future of the next stage in Egypt. So we're not speaking about a parliament, but rather the parliament. I believe if you want to put limits, the limits should not be economic ones. The limits should be more on or without limits. You should talk to the people about the freedom.
You mean that economic issues will not be the one that will hinder their ability to
engage the young people,
but rather at least checks.
Yes.
Like security checks, for instance, and
probably the history of these people, expose them. Corrupt people should expose them, not to cover them. Who would participate in this list of this political party or the other? We should expose them, open the doors for freedoms of speech, freedom of gatherings, and so on. This will help Egypt to recover. But closing doors and depending only on security forces will not help much because we are burdening the security forces with a lot of work, a lot of burden. I believe political parties should take part in this campaign. Universities should take part in this campaign. Students.
A campaign to raise awareness.
Awareness, yes.
About the importance of how to confront challenges, mainly terrorism.
And corruption.
And corruption, of course.
Development. We have all they are very important. We cannot rely only the security over the corruption or the freedom.
Do we have this luxury, sir?
No, we have
if every time you are on track and there is something that occur in the country and we are on the right path, and suddenly you're being hit with cowardice attack where you don't even know where it comes from. No, I'm not speaking here about that we are so very much calm with what is going on, and with every new attack that occurs in our country, every new tragedy that occurs and kill our happiness. I mean, that's
yes, it's very painful, but they should go in parallel. Liberties, fighting terrorism, development. We cannot ignore development because people are suffering.
Yes,
and if still this suffering persists, you would have many new terrorists in the streets. You have many new thieves. You will have more corruption. We cannot ignore any of these important, the Nile water quest. All this should be in parallel. Everybody or every authority should take its responsibility in this. Diplomacy, military, intelligence, Al-Azhar, the church, the political party, they should work all hand in hand for this agenda, national agenda, our national objectives. We should also accept differences in our positions, but we cannot accept treason between us. There is a big difference between differences of points of view or treason of the country.
Or as I understood, that you really want a kind of campaigns raising awareness of people of how they can approach their own rights through the rightful ways, but at the same time they have duties.
Of course.
And they should carry on with. What is more important is a slogan that should be raised at this upcoming stage, which is build. I mean, here, work, build. That could be the only thing facing the other evil side or the terrorism. What is, or what I can here end up with is, from your point of view, what kind of strategy can Egypt, along with its brothers and allies, if we can speak about truthful allies, can put in order to face this brutal and black phenomena that we are speaking about, terrorism in all its bloody shapes?
Well, first of all, we have to fight from the beginning, from the education of our young people, our students from primary. You have to make sure that their schools and they are studying good books, and they are aware and they have the sense of criticism from the beginning, freedom from the beginning. This would lead a very healthy generation from education from the beginning. Then, as we said, the media, the intelligence, the security, the universities, the syndicates, all of this should be very active in crystallizing our objectives, our development, how much we would like to have yearly in Egypt of development, 2%, 3%, 4%, what should we do to get this percentage? Like China, for example, it's 7-9% every year. We should know how to make this progress in our economy, in our security, in our education, our health sector. We have to put a very clear agenda. Dialogue is another thing. Dialogue between all parties in Egypt, not only political parties, but civil societies are very important. Syndicates are very important. Farmers are very important. They are very absent from the map here in Egypt. We should listen to them, to their problems, how to develop
the agriculture
in Egypt. All these things, students, we have to listen to them. Well, it's a big, huge political burden. We have to, but we cannot. We don't have the luxury to be late on this or to be weak. Because if we are weak, the outside world will eat us. Like, if we are slow, the people here will suffer from backwards in economy, and this will lead also to internal explosions.
What about strategies that could be really put together with other Arab countries in order to face this terrorism that we are all faced with?
Yes, we should concentrate on talking to the important Arab countries. Once again, for example, for Libya, we should engage ourselves more in talks with Algeria. Algeria is a big state in North Africa. They are very also concerned about Libya. We have to talk to them clearly and to know the real situation about Libya, because we cannot win the war in Libya without Algeria. It's the other side, it's from the west. They have Western
We're speaking
border.
about Algeria, of course, and the whole Moroccan area. I mean, Morocco, Algeria.
Yes, but Algeria has a long border with Libya, especially the western side, which we have the problem there, in Tripoli and this part. We have to talk to Ethiopia, we have to talk to Saudi Arabia once again to know what's the real intention of the new regime there. We have to talk to the Syrians. We have been ignoring the Syrians for a long time now. We are depending totally on the propaganda of the opposition. Also, we have to talk to the Iraqis and to convince them with national reconciliation, national reforms in Iraq, because Iraq is a very big country. Talk to Iran, talk to Yemen. We have a lot of challenges and open all channels with these Arab countries, with these friendly countries to stop this vicious circle around us, on the water, on the land, on everywhere.
Yes, indeed. Only through work, our diplomacy, our brave armed forces and security forces, our brave people, because our brave people are really suffering a lot, and despite this, they are determined for their country to move forward. Only through our people, the Egyptian people, that we can really defend our country and defeat such a cowardice phenomenon, terrorism.
That's true, very true.
Yes. Mr. Yahya, Negm, expert at the Middle East Affairs, we thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Thank you very much. Dear viewers, many thanks for watching. Next Saturday will be another Arab Affairs, hopefully not Egypt.